What's up, guys? Welcome to the show. Tyler's Talking RC. We were on Facebook last week, and we've skipped a few weeks here in the summer, I know. Sorry about that, but we did go over that in our previous shows. The last couple weeks have been brutally hot, and to be honest with you, it kind of takes the wind out of your sails during the day to come in and sit down and do this stuff, but we're here now. We got a few things to go over. We just had the Schumacher race this past weekend, so me and Tyler P were going to talk about this because Tyler P did attend the whole race. So it was pretty good.
You had to specify
the whole race.
I made it through the whole race.
He came back Sunday, which is pretty good because it was pretty brutally hot out.
It was. We can talk about ways to beat the heat, though. Even though the JC race, which we're also going to talk about, should be noticeably cooler.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. So the Schumacher race wasn't too bad. The turnout was lighter than expected. We were hoping for a little bit more, but we had some factors against us. One, there was the threat of rain the week before.
Pretty much every day.
The heat when it wasn't raining, and then we did post it up pretty late. There was a little bit of back and forth confusion between Schumacher and us and this and that, and we ended up just doing the race anyway. They didn't really put much together, but they were having some trouble on their end, but it's nothing against them. It all worked out. It's just with the past COVID stuff happening and them being overseas, it's a little bit
trying to get their guys to come here.
Yeah, things were a little bit different. They couldn't catch flights and yada yada. Anyway, but we still had some really good racing. It was brutally hot out, but it didn't end up raining at all, actually.
Nope. I got a whole bunch of silvers
until Sunday night at about 6:30 when we were walking into the restaurant.
That's right. Then it poured.
Decided it wanted to pour while we were on our way from the car to the restaurant. The last minute. But
yeah,
whatever.
It got sticky.
But whatever. But it was super hot out, so that definitely affected a lot of things. It was at least 95 all weekend, if not more, and pretty humid. So it was not a good time for the heat. But racing was a good time.
Yeah, there was some.
I'll let Tyler talk about that more. He was actually on the court.
On the court. 2-wheel stock, 4-wheel stock. I honestly, pretty much every class, there was some really, really good racing. Super competitive. I know the two classes I ran, 2-wheel stock and 4-wheel stock. The first minute or two was basically a freight train. Just everybody running back to back to back, and just. The starts were all clean. Like, it was some pretty good.
The track stayed pretty consistent all weekend, and mixed with the track being a relatively easy layout. By that I mean not any like huge jumps.
Yeah, it was. Everything was manageable.
So it was very close racing.
Yep.
Because the track was fairly simple. I'm gonna say it was easy, but there wasn't any 30-foot triples.
You were racing the competitors, you were not racing the track.
Yeah, this is the best way to put it.
That said, the layout was still super fun.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tom Bishop for putting shade on the driver's stand. Friday night before.
The net on and the dirt track too. That was awesome.
Yeah.
He did that all on his own. Well, we helped him a little bit, but it was all his idea.
Yeah, so thank you, Tom.
Yeah.
My cankles were no longer burning, so that was great.
Yeah, it's really the back of your legs that roast up there.
100%. Yep. Yep.
That's pretty crazy.
But for like as hot as it was get a tent, a cheapy pop-up tent, a cheapy fan, like a desk fan, and bring a cooler with ice and a towel to put over your face. Like, that's all you need. Like, there was no heat exhaustion. I didn't see anybody dropping dead. It was manageable.
Sunday actually wasn't horrible out there. It was actually a bit of a breeze Sunday, which helped out enormously.
Yep. And so this was the first actual turf race I've ever done, other than like practicing a little bit in the last 6 weeks. I was surprised how in the morning the track was grippier. Then as you get into the day, the dust and the stuff under the Astro, or maybe like down in the Astro, starts to come up. And I think it's like once the dew burns off by like 11 or 12, that was when you would start to see like the dirt rooster tails coming off the rear tires of the cars.
Gotta wet down the turf track.
See, and that's probably, I don't know if that's counterproductive or not. Probably blow it off.
Light mist,
yeah.
Light mist in the line.
Pump sprayer only. Light mist in the eye, yeah. But it was cool to see how the track changed. Like, the indoor track doesn't change at all.
Right.
So this changed, but it changed in a very manageable way. You could play around with rear toe and some simple stuff to add rear grip as the track loosened up over the course of the day. But it was super fun, and it's so much more forgiving than running in here. Like, for anybody that's thinking about trying a high grip application, 2-wheel buggy, 4-wheel buggy, whatever, while the weather's still good, build one or buy a B64 up front and throw it on the Astro track. It is such a good way to learn high grip. It's way easier than the carpet. So, just my 2 cents. But it was
You can really do both the
super
same car,
fun.
too. So, come on.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you don't mind them getting dirty. Dusty.
A little dust. Easily comes off with the air gun.
Yes, it does.
But all in all, pretty solid race. Can't knock it. We had a good time.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. So moving on, I think one new product I wanted to talk about is the Arma 4S trucks that finally come in. For those of you who are waiting, that's the Creighton and Outcast 4-cell trucks. Those were out in the past. This is the new version. I know there's a guy waiting for that one. They just came in, and I think they're going to be available the 12th. Yeah, I think they're available for sale the 12th. Horizon does an organized launch, so we cannot sell them until the 12th. But if you want to come down and save one, we can do that. We just can't give it to you. They make the rules, not me. So I think when's the 12th? Well, you're watching this, it's probably tomorrow. So not a big deal.
Yeah. You can wait.
Yeah. So that's cool. Come down, reserve one. What else do we have? New Wave batteries. They're up and live on the website. They're going pretty quick. They actually did very well over the weekend. A lot of guys were running the New Wave stuff. The 4600 Team 1 seemed to be the way to go. A lot of guys were liking that 4600.
The two low profiles are what, 4,000 and 46?
Yep, and the 46 is 140C.
Yeah,
So-
I think I need to pick me up one of those.
So check those out. Available, obviously, in the shop and the New Wave website. And sticking with batteries, actually, the Trinity drag pack came out. This is a freaking monster of a battery, dude. 10,000 milliamp 2-cell with a 440C burst for a 2-second race. It's insane.
Get yours now.
It's just a block of a battery, but we do have some in stock, and knowing these drag guys, they're going to go fast. So, even by the time you're seeing this, it could be over. Yeah, but monster of a battery, honestly. It's pretty insane.
Jeez, 10,000. It still baffles me that the drag cars have to have like such big capacity batteries. You would think like, 4,000 milliamp ought to get you to the end of the straightaway.
And it's just
But
all about that draw.
It's
divvying up the load.
And I think
it's really just a bunch of batteries wired together.
Right.
Is really all it is in one case. Which is funny because you're not allowed to wire batteries together. But you
can buy them that way.
But if you put them all together in one bag and then one plug, then it's fine.
Spirit of the law versus the letter.
Again, I don't make the rules.
Yep, just abide by them.
Just roll them. So that's cool. Trinity drag pack for my drag guys. And feeding off the drag, we got, I believe, the drag racing Sunday. I think they do a little points race or something Saturday too. So that's the RNS drag team guys, which you've seen on the show before. So that's Saturday and Sunday, with Sunday being the main event, I believe. And then also this Sunday, rock crawl on Outback. Guys are putting that on, so it's pretty cool. The Heat Wave Comp Crawl, which ironically they think they missed the heat wave, but
It'll be 80 degrees and sunny. So
it'll still be warm. So
show up and have
still
fun.
relative. Still relative.
there was one more product announcement. You guys don't have them yet, but I read up on it. Team Associated just announced new differential gears for their buggies.
For the 4-wheel?
I think it's for the 4-wheel only.
Ordered them.
Did you?
Yes.
They're the.
I think they're plastic ones, and there's
plastic and metal.
like a low friction or something like that.
Low torque coefficient. They're like called LTC gears.
That's what it is. Yes.
So
we ordered them.
So awesome.
Yeah.
I probably will end up with a set. They're basically so if you look at most diff gears in the buggies now, like we'll just say they're 12-tooth gears. These new gears from Associated, they're smaller gears. They're basically a finer pitch. Or it's not gears, teeth. So there's more teeth on the gears in the diff. And the logic is the smaller teeth, you don't lose strength, but you lose that interlocking behavior that you get with a big tooth. So they're supposed to free the car up in the turns, let it rotate better, and not bind as much under power.
Same difference as like pinions, 48 pitch, 64 pitch.
Yep.
Same kind of deal.
It's the same principle. What surprised me was in their press release they said to start with 20,000 CST in the front diff and 15,000 in the rear.
Yeah, I would assume you have to go heavier because they'll have less friction within the oil because the teeth are smaller.
It's something like that, yeah. So it's like when you go to a 2-gear versus 4-gear, you go up of the oil thickness. I think it's the same principle, only you would be still running 4-gear. So those will be fun to play with at some point.
Probably be life changing. Probably have to build another card just for those gears, right?
No, I mean I need to draw the line somewhere.
The things that make us excited.
Yep.
Toy car gears.
Teeth gears.
That's awesome. I think that's pretty much it for product announcement. I'm probably forgetting something, but that's it for that. We're going to talk a little bit about the Jace Concept Race because that's the next major event that we have coming up, I believe. So that is the 9th, 10th, and 11th of September.
Yep.
With Friday being open practice / controlled practice, and then Saturday and Sunday racing. The exact race format, I'm not sure. It's probably out there. The past couple years, we've done a few different things.
Really?
Yeah, I think we usually do Rocket Round, but I think one year we did qual points.
So what's Rocket Round is what we normally do on a Friday night?
Yeah, Rocket Round is your fastest
your best run.
lap to time.
Oh, okay.
And then qual points is what I think you guys did.
The Schumacher race was, that was an educational experience. I did not know that that's what I was going into.
Yeah.
Which I like it. Because with Rocket Round, if you have one heater of a race, you can just park the car until the main.
Yeah, qual points make you race the whole time.
Yeah, which
pretty much.
I like that. And you get one drop.
Yeah.
So if you have one crappy round, you get a mulligan.
Yeah.
So
that might be a good topic for a future show. Different race formats. There's Reedy, Rocket Round, and qual points.
I have no clue what the Reedy one is.
Reedy one is just heads up racing the entire time. And it's completely random each race. It's
interesting.
I'll tell you, we'll talk about it. But aside from that, like I said, I can't remember what I did last year. I mean, we do so much racing that I can't remember, honestly, anything. But
anything.
So I think last year we did qual points, but again, that's up to Chris and Jason how they want to do it. I just that's not my department over the weekend.
Well, from what I heard, Jason's not going to be here.
He might not be here, but we still communicate with him. We still talk with him.
Okay, I forgot you guys are important people.
Sometimes when we're having his race,
not peasants like us.
But we will still communicate with him about it.
Okay.
So I don't know the exact race format. It might already be out there, and I might just be talking for no reason. But that'll be brought up as we get closer. But anyway, we just more wanted to bring it up. This is the pre-discussion about it. We'll have another talk about it when it gets real close. But that race is always a great time. Last year, it was an open tire race, so I don't know if that's going to continue this year.
I was told it is.
Told it was? Okay.
By people with authority.
Okay, fair enough. So, according to Tyler P.
But if I'm wrong...
If I'm wrong, don't
hold it against me. I did buy a crap ton of mezzos, so...
It was open tire last year. I was thinking it was just that year because there may have just been a supply issue because that was still kind of a heavy problem last year. And it's still not 100% resolved to this day, so we'll circle back to that one. But all in all, should be a great time. It's the 9th, 10th, and 11th. It's always a good weekend because the weather's usually pretty decent. It's nice and cool. You usually just have a problem with maybe a little bit of rain.
A shower, yeah.
But I can't predict what's going to happen September 9th from now.
So neither can the forecaster. Neither can the meteorologists. Don't worry.
The way this year has been with weather, I'm just putting it out there. One, every time it's said it's going to rain here, it has not. All summer.
Good. So let's look for a rainy forecast.
And two, we have raced every Friday night outside this year and not missed one. We only missed 2, which I don't count because we shut it down for controlled practice. So we were all still out there.
Oh.
For the opener and the barbecue. We shut down Friday night.
Oh, well, that's not weather permitting.
So I don't really count that because we were all out there.
Yeah.
But weather permitting, we ran all year.
That's amazing.
Which is pretty crazy because last year there was like a month and a half stint where
it rained every Friday.
Every single day it rained.
Yeah.
So
we touched on this before we went live. There is an independent, I think it's called independent class.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And then there is a expert class for the JC race.
See, sometimes there's another class too where they control the motor, and I don't think they call it. I think that's going to be a novice class this year.
Like a handout motor?
Yeah, they did it.
Huh.
I don't think they did it last year, but they did it the year before with a hobby wing. It was a 21.5 class.
Okay. So that would be novice.
A novice handout class. Then they have independent class.
Which means what?
Which means you are not sponsored.
You cannot be sponsored and run.
Correct. Expert class is for sponsored drivers. If you are sponsored, and by that I mean Trinity's paying for your motor, Phantoms are paying for your batteries, you're running TLR cars or something along those lines.
You have to
You're
run
getting helped
expert.
out. You have to run expert because you've been in the game long enough at this point for somebody to give you something for free. You're good enough to run the expert class.
Yep.
Independent class, you are not sponsored, but the only difference is if you're not sponsored, you can still run expert.
Right.
You can run expert if you wanted to. You're not sponsored by anybody, so you could run expert if you so choose, or you could run the independent.
Right.
But like Spencer Rifkin, he can't run
He
independent.
can't run independent.
He has to run expert.
Right.
He's fully sponsored.
Yeah, can't show up and spank
It was an
everyone.
extreme example, but
yeah.
most people know his name. That's why I said it.
Well, so it's basically like in motocross, you had privateers.
Right.
They're driving themselves to the races. They're having to do their own thing versus the factory guys who show up in a semi.
If you're
So it's
racing,
basically
if you're
differentiating.
paying for all of your stuff and just casually racing, club racing,
Yep.
come sign up for independent. Because to be honest, even me, I the expert classes, they're good, they're fast. But I mean, honestly, if you're down for the challenge, though, the expert classes where all the big dogs are gonna run. I mean, it's what it is.
If you're gonna stack up,
I mean, locally,
Stack
it's gonna,
up.
Tyler, Justin, Steve,
yep,
Cam, they all ran that class.
yeah,
And Steve's not really sponsored. I mean, we help him out every once in a while, but it's not.
No,
he's
but
paying his way.
100%.
So he runs it, but he chooses to run that because that's he wants to compete on that level,
Right.
which I don't knock anybody for. I think you should run expert.
We shall
You
see.
probably will. You have to. Because what are you gonna win? Independent?
Wow.
Come on, you wanna play with the big dogs?
No pressure, Dad. I do want. I mean, ultimately, the cool thing is, regardless of what you pick, you can still compare how you do on the clock against
Oh yeah. doesn't
whomever
matter.
else. So you can still do the math, but
Damn it! I should have been the expert class.
to be able to say, yep, this is how I stack up against the big dogs.
That's the big difference in the class there. And then mod stadium truck. I think we have the classes listed somewhere on the flyer there. Mod
It
stadium.
is. It's on the flyer.
I think we ran short course in the past. It's not usually a big one. Pretty much, if you want to race two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive buggy, and mod or stock, a lot of the guys actually don't really run. Like actually, that being said, the expert stock is a stock class. A lot of guys actually don't run that. Most of those guys run two-wheel drive mod.
Right.
A lot of they just run the full modified class, which is not expert or independent, or it doesn't matter if you run.
Oh, so expert and independent is for 17.5.
I left that out. Yeah, sorry.
And arguably 13.5.
Yeah, it's just
Four-wheel.
That's just for stock racing. Sorry. Mod is mod. Anybody who's running mod is running mod.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see who's where.
Yeah, expert and independent is just for stock. Sorry, I should have
So-
said that at the beginning.
So this morning, because I want the JC race to be big. I want all the guys, the whole Madness crew to be there and
Snap. Sorry.
And resume.
We'd edit out a little bit there. The boss walked in, needed help for a second. No big deal.
Anyway, I was just saying that I poked a bunch of the local guys on Messenger and just was like, "You gonna run the JC race, right?" So the answers were almost unanimously yes. So I think it's gonna be a good show. It's gonna have a ton of very fast local guys and hopefully some very fast
It's usually
foreigners. I don't know what you call them. Foreign traveling
aliens?
racers. Yeah,
a lot of people traveling in. Out-of-towners, I call them.
out of towners.
Yeah, so it'd be pretty solid.
Yeah.
It's usually the final send-off for the turf for the season.
Yep.
And then, yeah, it's always good. I don't even know. It's like, what, the 6th or 7th or year or something, maybe even more. I don't know. It's been crazy, honestly, to think about that. And then after that, I think the 25th is our final dirt race. I say like that because it's the last official event that I have planned, Supercross the 25th. But if the weather continues relatively decent into October, we'll keep running until we don't want to stand outside anymore. If October is warm, we'll keep running. October freezes and snows, then we're stopped. October goes either direction sometimes, honestly. I've had it. I remember it being 75 degrees on Halloween, and I've remembered it snowing on Halloween.
Yep.
So,
frankly, after the summer that we've had, because it's been pretty hot, I am thoroughly looking forward to cold weather.
Yeah, we were actually talking about the other night, or me and Justin were talking about it yesterday. We're like, man, we might have to put a sweatshirt on Friday night. I was like, I'm kind of down to wear a sweatshirt, I'm honest with you. It's supposed to be 65, and on Friday night should be
It'll
sick,
cool off.
Finally. And then next Friday night, not this Friday night, next Friday night, all the boys are going to LCRC, and Carissa, sorry, not Carissa and boys, are going to LCRC. So shout out to those guys. They're a pretty cool crew up there at LCRC, beautiful track and facility. So I have no problem with them. They're all going out there. We're going to support them. So look for their Facebook posts and stuff. That's Justin, John, Tony, Carissa. Tom's coming with me. We're going to the fair. And Paul.
So there's one group going racing, and you're going to get cotton candy.
Yeah, we're going to a fair that I got approached about probably 7 months ago. It's kind of a newer one this year, the Hamburg Fair. Me and Tom are going to be over there, and Tripp, I think, is coming with me. And then, we're just letting kids play with slashes and driving some X-Maxes.
So you're going to have like a booth or something?
Yeah, Tom's bringing his trailer. That's when Tom's coming. Trailer for the power and all that. And then I'm going to bring a pop-up. And, just a little promoting for the day.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you're down to come too. I didn't invite you before, but anyway.
No, I can take a hint.
We'll talk about that after. Don't feel bad. I invited Tripp yesterday. Hey, man, you want to come? Yeah, sure. Ah, sick.
And that's how plans get made.
But anyway, I don't know if I got anything else. Oh, we got t-shirts. I know I did a little bit about the live, but now they're all up on the rack. $20 a t-shirt. Got a couple long sleeves left too. They're 25. I know it's not long sleeve season, but
it will be soon.
We did have some up there, and they're actually pretty nice. Black long sleeve with RCM.
Come on down. Check out Tyler's rack.
It's big. Anyway, I think that's all we got for you guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Hopefully a little more now that it starts cooling down. I'll be getting back into the YouTube game a little bit. Just like I said, kills your ambition a little bit when you're just cooking for 2 weeks. Yeah. We got some. I got some winter plans though, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching, guys. We will see you in the next show.